and then you put a goal in your mind. How are you gonna feel, man, when you accomplish this goal coming from that shit? Coming from the hell you came from. A lot of people start from a good starting point. They have a good foundation. What if you can surpass all of these? What if everybody who was way up here started up here, and you started with no legs. You had to grow legs to even start walking, and then crawling, and then running. And then you start passing people and all this given to them. I had to use all this negative shit that was making me weak and horrible as a person. I had to use this as the power that now fueled me. I had to flip it on its head and say, hold up. This might be exactly what I need. The darkness is exactly what I need. It's how you look at your situation. And I was looking at it all f***ed up.
There's so many times in life you don't want to be doing what the f*** you're doing. You can't just quit. Remember this isn't a hobby, this isn't a joke, it's a lifestyle. So what you say to yourself is important. There's no coach, there's no trainer to keep you going, it's only you. So think about this, you've been working your whole life to get a seat at the table. The seat at the table is you want to be the best amongst all the best people in your career field. So you finally get that letter. It's steak, lobster, it's a big dinner. Everybody's showing up, dressed to the nines. Make sure you show up soaking wet for getting after it, working out hard, towel around your neck. You respect the event, so make sure you put that towel over that nice chair so you don't f it up. The whole thing is this, don't say a word. Stay uncommon amongst uncommon people. You're never done. Don't stop when you're tired. Stop when you're done. Stay hard.
So I'm in the front of the boat, and I tell our guys this is what we're gonna do. The boat was like on our heads. That's all it was. We're supposed to lift the boats up above our head. That's all you gotta do. But when you're this weak, you're this fragile, you're this tired, the boat's heavy. So there's a thing you can do when you do boat presses. You can get the boat and like just toss it up and catch it. And that shows like you're jacked up. So everybody's holding the boat and they're shaking and the boat's starting to come down their head and all the boat crews are all lined up and they're f***ed up. And I'm looking at that and I turn around my boat crew and say, hey guys, it's time to take some souls. And they're like, what the f*** are you talking about? I said, we're gonna get you. I go, you see all these instructors out here, all in their jackets and drinking coffee and laughing and smiling and I want their faces to go straight up numb. So we're gonna do this. We're gonna start boat pressing this motherfucker. Just take my lead, trust me, you'll get energy from it. We start throwing this boat up in the air, catching it, throwing it up and catching it, and we start yelling, can't hurt boat crew too. We're yelling our ass off, and we're doing it. And they make a stop, like what the like stop. I look at these instructors, and their faces literally look like someone just took their soul out. 'Cause I know where their minds were. Like, they were thinking about themselves. Like, what the just happened, man? I know me on Wednesday, I couldn't have done that. How are they doing it? So the rest of the time, going through Hell Week, it was like we owned it. We owned it.
Right.
Boat Crew 2, we won every single race. We were just dominating. And it was a strong boat crew, and that's where Taking Souls is, there's a few Taking Souls stories, but that's one of them. A lot of us don't know of a whole nother world that exists. It's on the other side of suffering. Once you break these barriers that you have made for yourself, like the mind is the most powerful thing in the world. In the world. Is. It is so amazing that I used to be a 300-pound guy, and I thought that was it. Could barely read, could do anything, and now that what was inside that person was this guy that's in front of you today. That's how scary the mind is. And that's what I started realizing through this journey, is that once I got a taste of, wow, man, I haven't even begun to crack what the mind is capable of. And what I started realizing is on the other end of suffering, that's the real growth of life, because you realize how the mind processes shit. And I talk about another thing called theory and practice. A lot of people are theorists. These smart guys that read these books and shit, man, and they sit down, they tell you what the mind is supposed to do. And a lot of us listen to that shit. It becomes like, this is it, man. This old man who has been studying the mind forever, this is the cap that we have. By being a practitioner, I went out and realized A lot of these guys are so wrong, man. Their mind has capabilities that are so unknown. And I found that through suffering. And there's a whole nother world on the other end of that. You don't need to have this humongous GPA and all this other shit. What you need is the one thing I talk about in my book, which is straight up brutal work ethic. You have to be willing to outwork everybody in the world. And that's the hard part. That's the hard part. This isn't like some 5-step process where if you do these 5 steps, you're gonna end up with this magical world. No, I'm basically teaching you how to callous over your victim's mentality. I'm teaching you how to, like I did 67,000 pull-ups in training for the pull-up record. I was seriously callousing my hands to protect them. What I'm trying to do with people is teach them how to find more themselves to where they empower themselves. I'm all about the underdog.